Man, what a great day it's been. All I've seen are sunshine and rainbows. Man, I can't wait to go to sleep tonight and just think about how great of a day it was. Ugh! I think they're gone. No, please! Please! Ah! It was a cold, rainy night. Sometime probably between 3 a.m. to 5 a.m.? Or was it closer to 8? Either way, it was bright and shiny outside, and I was walking down an alley, and there I saw that person. They walked right up to me and gored me with a giant spoon. It's quite ironic, you know. I thought I was the cream of the crop, but I wasn't even the shit on the stick. It's fascinating how fast someone's life can go in the blink of an eye. You never really realize how mortal you are until it sticks you in the gut. But either way, this is what happened on February 28th. Or was it 18th? It had an 8 in the date. Regardless, this is what happened on January 1st of 20. I was walking home after a night at the bar with some of my friends. It was cold that day, or night, And as we said our goodbyes, I set out down the lonely road, thinking what a great day it had been. Or was it night? As I was making my way down a completely innocuous alley, there, a giant figure stood. At first I didn't think much of it. I am Captain Gale Galleon after all. Now why would I think anything differently of this person? They were of no threat to me. Is what I should have said out loud. But I didn't. I only thought it internally. Thus, they did not realize who I truly was and assaulted me. And I was assailed by some words. They spoke to me. They brought up our past. And at that moment it clicked. I knew this person. But from where? Only a name came to mind, but even of that I wasn't too sure. I gave them a cold, hard look in the eyes, and I said to myself, "Are you..." Stop! I'm monologuing! Oh, fuck! Shit! I guess I can't say their name. They would prefer to leave that omit. Well, either way, after looking at them cold in the eyes, I said, "You're that person that I know." They didn't have any words for me. They simply nodded in agreement. And from there, I realized what they were truly here for. They wanted my hat. It's a shame, honestly. Do you know how many people in the world crave my hat? They want to see it on me, off me, on them, on the floor, on their bed, and yet no one can seemingly remove me from this hat. Regardless, they weren't taking no for an answer. And from behind them, they whipped out a giant spoon. And with the spoon... Stop! Oh, God. Oh, God. We weren't there yet. We didn't get to the stabbing. They sat down and they said, "Would you like to play a game with me?" And in my drunken stupor, I said yes. Little did I know that would be the last game that I played that night. Oh God, I'm bleeding. There's lots of blood. Thankfully, we're in a freeze frame right now. Currently, what you're seeing is the moment right after I was stabbed with a giant spoon. So, the blood hasn't come out of me yet, but sure enough, as soon as this freeze frame goes away... You know, I ever told you about a filibuster before? It's when you're in Congress and you're not allowed to speak over someone else who's currently speaking, so long as it's a continuous train of thought, and no one else is allowed to interject. It's kind of like what I'm doing right now. I'm currently waiting for somebody to call EMS, and I don't believe anyone's dialed yet, so long as I keep monologuing internally, we don't have to worry about that. The wound will not bleed until I finish my thought. So we're gonna keep telling the story until somebody calls emergency services. But either way, in this alley, there's only one game that two people could play together in an abandoned alley. Music. They said, "You have to play me one song with this giant spoon, otherwise you're gonna regret it." I thought that was pretty easy, you know? I'm a pretty talented musician. In a past life, I was a rock star. In another life, I was a seafaring sailor. I knew plenty of shanties left and right. But little did I know, I've never played the spoon before. I was scrambling left and right, thinking, what could I possibly do to make such great music that would appeal to this person? And so, I slapped the ground like a madman. Tink, tink, tink. After about 5 minutes of dancing around with the giant metal spoon, the perpetrators seemed moderately impressed, actually. They said, that wasn't half bad, Gale Galleon. And then they stabbed me. Ah! That's how it sounded. That time they didn't actually stab me, thankfully. And then we froze here. Is it a method of torture to flick edge the spoon? Are you a goon master? Are you flicking your spoon? Is that what they're saying nowadays? Don't flick the spoon, not when I'm streaming, okay? This is not... Don't do that. Suddenly you feel lucked out today for being able to catch Captain's goofiness today? Today is getting better all of a sudden? I'm sitting here, nearly about to bleed on the floor, in the middle of an alley, abandoned, where God can't even see, and you think you're lucky. Suddenly I'm starting to feel a little bit suspicious about you. I would spit if I could, but we're stuck in a freeze frame. You can only hear my internal monologue. Girl? Wrong! Spoon! Flick the edge, you're just illiterate? Say no more. Well, I can't really monologue anymore. The perpetrator's running away and we're back up to date. So, I hope your guys' day was good. Can you guys flood my mind so we stay in this perpetual freeze frame? You were happy to catch my stream too? This is not just a stream, this is a call for help. I am bleeding out in the middle of an alley. This is not for your entertainment. I am dying. This is a plea to you, Pipsqueaks. I know we've had some rough times. My God, please send an ambulance. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, no thoughts. We can only have thoughts right now. We are merely stuck in my mind dimension. Do I want to fork with my spoon? No, please. No. Ah! I don't want any forks. Please. No spooning. No forking. You know, I always thought I would go down by a blade. Thought I'd end up in a ditch, stabbed. Bleeding out, thinking about what I could have been instead of this lawless pirate. And yet here I am, spooned on a cold Wednesday night. Nor was it Tuesday. I can't seem to remember anymore. The freeze frame isn't frozen anymore. It is frozen. But I just imagine getting stabbed by a fork and my mind is very creative. Good God. Guys, we need chopsticks too. No! Ah! 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 Not the second chopstick! Ah! 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 I am impaled. Several wounds are now stuck inside of my body. And all I can do is lean across this wall here. Think about the good times. At least it wasn't a frying pan. Ah! Well, that wasn't as nearly as impactful as I thought it would sound. If only I had a metal pipe sound effect to play right now. Here's a knife too. Thank you. I'll hold on to this knife in case the perpetrator comes back this way. You know, honestly, if time continued forward, I think I might just die from the shock. We're gonna need to wash the cutlery. We're gonna need to wipe away this entire alley. You know, anime characters are filled with gallons and gallons of blood. Do I know what the face needs of spork? How about you... Shut up. No sporks. It's a novelty spoon? This is no novelty spoon. Oh, I didn't get to that part of the story. My apologies. Well, picking up where we left off. The spoon that they used to stab me with was no ordinary spoon. and I could tell that from a glance. This was pure adamantite steel. This is an alloy that is made specifically to kill captains. It is the only material in the world that can take down a pirate captain. And unfortunately for me, this perpetrator was the leading developer of all adamantine alloys. Vine boom. Lore drop. It is very painful. There's a stinging sensation as we speak. Because I've frozen exactly when I was stabbed, I can feel the pain as vividly as it was the moment that I was impaled. The spoon holds a very hot dessert. Hot guy streaming right now. And he's being streamed live, impaled, on a Monday morning. Or was it Sunday? Either way, seeing the perpetrator from behind, I'll never forget that silhouette. The person that I've wronged way too many times in the past. You know, when I saw them at first, didn't even bat an eye. And now, my eyes are wide open, and I don't think I'll blink even once more before I perish. Where are the sounds coming from? My mind. You know, sometimes when I'm in peril, I think about my friends. No, scratch that. I wouldn't think about him at this time of day. I'll think about my good friends. The friends that were along my side the entire time. My crew. How am I gonna tell them that I bled out in an alley? It's a shame, you know. All the pipsqueaks. I told them I'd be back by 8 o'clock sharp. Or was it 3? Regardless, they won't be seeing their captain anymore tonight. Not unless this ambulance comes faster. Jazz in your inner monologue is great taste. No, that's actually playing in the building behind me. That's not in my freeze frame. They're actually playing music. It's just that for some reason it's on loop right now. My apologies for the non-jazz lovers. I always thought this day would come, but I didn't think it would be today. I didn't have anyone lined up for the next captain, you know? The only person that I could think about was my first mate, Pip, and what she would do with the crew when I was gone. I didn't elect her. In fact, she can't be elected. She's simply a bird. So, I don't think she's fit to rule. Therefore, I think the ship should belong to somebody else. But that's out of my hands now. Democracy will take care of that. Hopefully, justice will be served. You'd pick Pip? Wait, Pipsqueaks. Wait a sec, you can hear me! Pipsqueaks! Oh shit. I didn't look at the address. I just followed the Google Maps to get here. Okay. It's clearly we're on West Boulevard. The sun's in the back over there. You've got a good view of the main street from here. So, oh shit, the perpetrator's blocking the view. Oh fuck. Damn, this place really is inconspicuous. There's really nothing here. All right, Pipsqueaks, fly! Fly, Pipsqueaks! Although it's getting dark, you'll have to get here soon. Otherwise I might not make it. I'm cutting out, Captain. I can hear you perfectly fine. You're cheating, okay? There's no reception in my brain. We're connected right now. Consciously. This is your bedtime story? This is your bedtime warning. Get out of bed right now. Your captain's bleeding out. I'm starting to get pissed. Why don't you guys care for me, huh? Huh? Look at them. Look at that motherfucker in the back over there. They think they're so slick. Anyway, where was I? It was 2 weeks ago. My friends and I made a promise to go and visit each other again. The Drunken Clam. It's been about a decade since I last visited there. And hell, 10 years ago feels like just yesterday. After seeing the person that stabbed me again, felt like all those memories came flooding back, one after the other. In the blink of an eye, I saw my entire life flash before my eyes as I was gouged. I gotta stop thinking about getting stabbed. It hurts really bad. Ow. 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 Fuck, I gotta stop thinking about getting stabbed. It's not good. I can't get it. I'm getting stabbed right now and I can't stop thinking about it. The mind is a powerful tool. Don't waste it, Pipsqueaks. Don't waste it. Oh, I should think about Joja Cola. Oh man. Do I really want the last thing to go into my mouth to be a Joja Cola? Oh, just something to numb the pain. This fucking sweet. This is just like when. This is just like in Bleach, when that one guy froze that guy in time and stabbed him a bunch and he felt the pain for millennia. It hurts. What did you walk into? It was a cold night. And as I was walking away from the bar where I met my friends, it was roughly 1 a.m., just as the bar was closing, that I made my way down this dark alley. I was thinking to myself, damn, I'm such a good-looking individual. There's probably a lot of people that want my blood for how damn good-looking I am. And as I was walking back to the ship, I took the shortcut through an alley. It was a beautiful alley. It smelled like roses. I saw Samantha over the garden wall just to the left over there. I waved as she was tending to her roses, and as I passed, I saw a figure in the middle of the alley. It was Samantha's husband. He warned me about talking to his wife about the roses. He said that she's been making those flowers grow for my sake, and I was flattered. But of course, hearing it from the man himself, I realized something. There was trouble afoot. He went back into the building, and so I strutted away at a brisker pace than I was going before. And from behind me, the pitter-patter of puddles on the ground, growing quicker and closer as I walked away. He was in full sprint. Samantha's husband came at me from behind, turned me around, and kissed me. He said, "Don't talk to my wife ever again. Otherwise we'll have problems." He blushed, slapped my ass, and I walked away. And as I looked forward, I was stabbed by a giant spoon! Ah! I knew this person. As they let go of the spoon and let me fall down to the ground, they said one final word. "I love you." And they walked away. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that love felt like this searing pain. I really gotta stop thinking about it. Oh my God. Love hurts. Love stings. You know, Pipsqueaks, love isn't about what you put on the table. It's about what you put in someone else. I gotta burp. It's about tragedy. It's about romance. And giant spoons. Giant spoons that are stabbed directly into my heart. Either way, it was a cold morning, and my body was feeling colder, second by second, as I was pouring out my love juices. I mean blood! Ah, the blood! The wound, and the spoon! The spoon. Reminds me, before I left that bar, I was having a spoonful of something. Porridge. It was cold porridge, served on a wooden stool as I sat on the ground. There were no more chairs left for me, you see. All the stools were being used for tables, and all the tables were being used for firewood, because it was a cold, dark night at about 5 p.m. Or was it midday? Regardless of the time, there was a fire inside the building, and we all had to get out of there. And as I was finishing my very cold porridge, my friends grabbed me by the shoulder and threw me out of the building. And then I noticed my friend was on fire! I ran out of the building, running to the main street. I had to take a shortcut to make sure I can get there as fast as possible to flag down a fire truck or an EMS of some sort. And there, in the middle of the alley, I saw him. It was a fireman. I pointed directly at the bar and I told him, "There's a fire down there. You have to get there as fast as possible. My friend's on fire!" And he ran. And he put out the fire in the bar. And the day was saved and nobody was killed. After leaving from a good job done and saving my friends, we went our separate ways. My friend, having to get treated for third-degree burns, obviously made his way through an ambulance back to the hospital. And as I was going through a dark alley that was very hot and sweaty, actually. Too sweaty, in fact. So sweaty I took off my coat for once. Not that I'll ever show you. I took off my coat, and to my dismay, there was someone there. They knew my secret. And, doing what I must do whenever a secret gets out, I whipped out my giant spoon. I charged at them, screaming like a gorilla. But they parried the attack, disarmed me, and as I was on the floor, they stabbed me with this giant spoon! Ah! Ah! And that's how I got here. It's not easy being a hot, sexy gentleman like myself, as you can see. But thankfully, due to Cass's magical powers, he stopped time just for me, so I could share this last moment with you, Pipsqueaks. How many spoons am I in right now? No, not the spoons! Ah! Where do I get these giant spoons? Spirit of Halloween. They sell them on discount bulk the day after Halloween. And I make sure to buy as many as possible because you can never have too many giant spoons. In fact, I have armed each and every one of you with a giant spoon for emergencies, such as today. Sorry, I blinked. Can you tell me how the spoon got inside of me? What spoon? It was exactly 3:31 p.m. as I was making my way to the bar. It was raining, but it was hot and warm. I was in the tropics, and taking the usual route. I was at the doorstep of my favorite little tavern. To open the door, you need a secret code. I whispered, "Nutella." The barkeep let me in, and as I sat down, he offered me a drink. Of course, I took him on his offer, as I was waiting for my two best buddies to come by. I got a text The text said, "Hey, I forgot the passcode. Can you come let me in?" So of course, as the captain, I made sure to go and let my best friend in. I walked outside, back into the alley, and as the rain poured down on my skin, I saw my friend. We dapped each other up. I let him inside. The barkeeper knew him. My friend's simply forgetful, you know. But as we closed the door behind us, we heard a knock. All of us were stunned, including the barkeep. As you know, there's only 2 seats in this bar. This bar is actually specifically made just for me, so I was very concerned as to why there was another customer. I walked outside, and I met them face to face. The hash-slinging slasher was his nickname. I know him as Mike, but I was wondering, what were you doing here, Mike? He said, "Gale, there's been an accident. Mama Galleon's in a coma in the hospital." I was stunned. I said, "Which hospital is she staying at?" He said, "Just the one right there, around the corner." So I made my way to the hospital. It was literally just around the corner. In fact, this bar is actually built into the side of the hospital. I went to go see Mama Galleon. As I walked into her room, the beeping of the IV dripping. Sorry, the beeping of the heart monitor and the drip of the IV were the only music inside of that place. I said, "Mama Galleon, I love you, but there's something I need to do." I picked up her hand, gave her a kiss on the forehead, and I walked out of her room. I needed to get vengeance. From my pockets, I pulled out a small fork. It was my trusty weapon in dire times. Well, some would call it a weapon. It was in fact a tool for locating the person that you fucking hate the most. I flicked on the tip of the fork, and the vibrations pointed me in the right direction. Southeast. I was walking back the way I came, and I saw Mike there, the hash-slinging slasher. And he had his fork ready at the ready as well. I said, "Mike, don't tell me my fork isn't lying to me." He said, "Gale, your fork's not lying, and I'm not a truther." His fork grew 3 sizes that day. He charged me, and I charged him. As I was about to unsheath my real sword, straight into my stomach, a fork. That's right, I was stabbed by a fork, not a spoon. Bet that surprised you. The pain stung, but Mike over there. Wait, that's not Mike! As they walked away down the alleyway, I saw them remove a mask and a wig, but I couldn't get a clear look of their face. They got away, and I'll never know who they truly were. So, what do you think? What's the truth? Who's the culprit? Who did me in? The truth of the matter is, what we can see right now. Currently placed inside of my abdomen, about to take a giant chunk out of my 6-pack abs, is a spoon. What's left is down that alleyway, the silhouette of the person that stabbed me. But who is it? My thoughts are starting to go a little awry. I can't seem to remember who is what and what is who. Samantha? No. I can see her just over the garden hedge over there. She's screaming. But it's too bad this alleyway's abandoned, otherwise she could help me. Her husband? Ha! No way. He loves me too much. But maybe he does love me too much. He almost loves me as much as I love beer. And you know what I could use? A good stiff one right now. So, in this cold, rainy night, at exactly 9:21 a.m., I walked back to the bar. As I took my first footstep in the door, I was stabbed by a spoon! Ah! Ah! Oh, God! We really just got to the punchline, didn't we? Oh, I didn't like that story. I was not prepared. Oh, fuck. Well, that's fine. I didn't like where that story was going. Oh! It was a warm and gorgeous night. The moon was the only thing illuminating this dreary and foul alley. I wasn't a stranger to this place, though. As you see, I always visit on a full moon this alley. It's very dangerous down here. The locals know it as Spooning Way on account of the spoon murders that happen in this alley. My overconfidence led me to be a little bit more cocky than I normally am. So, I took the shortcut to the bar. No! Oh, God! I fell, and a rock stubbed my toe. Ow! That rock really hurt. But thankfully I wasn't stabbed by a spoon. After blowing on my big toe and kissing my boo-boo, I made my way down the alley and sat down in my favorite bar. Moonlight radiating through the windowsill. It was my favorite spot inside of there. The glowing luminescent silver screen. I took the seat next to the window and I ordered my favorite drink. Rum with a shot of Joja Cola. As I took my first sip, I felt it hit me. Spoon hit me! Oh no! The bartender stabbed me. And I was leaking blood. But only faintly. Only faintly. Before I could bleed out finally, I stopped time to see you, my love, in my last moments. So, what's it gonna be? Will you pull the spoon out and watch me suffer? Or will you stay here in stasis with me and live out the rest of your life in this bleeding moment? I love the taste of Joja Cola. They say that justice tastes like a cold drink on a hot summer day. And that's exactly what it was today. It was exactly midday. I was walking home from the PD. My second life of being a police officer pays well, but it doesn't beat being a pirate. How I long to go back to the sea. So, later that night, I went back to her. My ship, the Black Pearl. Bet you didn't know I owned the Black Pearl! As I was making my way back, time was passing, and soon enough, sunset was emerging. I threw my badge on the ground, stripped out of my PD outfit, and I put on my favorite coat. I didn't have the rest of my clothes though, so I was basically naked. Well, I was at the docks, and when I got there, I realized I'd left something very important back at the office. So, I gathered my clothes, threw them over my shoulder, and burped and made my way back to the PD office. I saw Colonel Sanders there, and, knowing me, he had my belongings that I left right there at the front. He said, "I knew you'd be back for these." Huh. Thanks, Colonel. I owe you one. So, I left with my bucket of chicken. Fried pipsqueak, actually. Headed back to the boat. But, as I was making my way back to the PD, from the PD to the boat, or was it from the boat into the PD? I saw him. The man with the biggest bounty in town. It was me. I saw myself at the other end of the alley. And, in my confusion, I called out to myself. I said, "Gale! Are you Gale Galleon?" He saw me. His eyes grew wide in fear. He started to run away, and, needing answers, as the PD I was, I sprinted after him. I spec'd into athletics and strength, so, sure enough, Gale couldn't get away from me. I tackled him to the ground. I said, "Gale Galleon! I'm Gale Galleon! Aren't you Gale Galleon?" He screamed. I didn't know what he was screaming. And, in his panic, he stabbed me. Ah! With a giant spoon. Confused as to why he would do this to me, I leaned back against the wall, wondering what went wrong, and I looked down at my hands, and I realized I wasn't Gale Galleon. I was a pipsqueak, and I was bleeding out with a spoon in my stomach. In my confusion, I screamed for help, but now listening to myself, all I heard was the squawking and beating of feathers as I flapped my wings. And now, as a pipsqueak, I bled out in the alley. Or was I Gale? You know, time's a confusing thing. One day you're one something, and the next day you're something else. Every day we change. But it's every day we have to make the most of. You're not the same person you were last week, and I think that's for the better. You think you have schizophrenia? Couldn't be me. I know who I am. Who am I? Suddenly at a loss for words. I wanted to check my ID, but seeing as how I really couldn't move anymore, I sat there in confusion, wondering, am I Gale? Or am I Pipsqueak? Oh my gosh, you have a spoon stabbed in your stomach? Ah! Not the spoon! Ah! Ah! Why'd you have to bring that up again? In my dismay, that night would remind me that I'm currently impaled by a giant spoon. Guys, stop watching and help my senpai. Nayu. There comes a time in a man's life where you have to sit down and buckle your bootstraps, tie up your laces, and pull yourself up by the jockstrap. And that day was today. It was a normal morning. I woke up at the normal time, 3 p.m. As I left my cabin, I went to the city. By the time I got there, it was already 3 a.m. I've already wasted 12 hours of my day trying to get to where I wanted to go. It was a lot of walking, but nothing that I'm not used to. Either way, I went to my favorite hole in the wall, Denny's. I sat down, and as the waitress took my order, she asked me if I wanted a side of silver. Surely she meant silverware, so I obliged. I said, yes, please. It'll go great with my flapjacks. Denny's? Yes, of course. Denny's is the only thing that's open at 3 a.m. Come on, guys. Where the fuck else are you gonna get food? Either way, as I sat there at the Denny's, my stomach grumbling from the 12-hour walk that I took, I looked outside. It began to rain, perspiration filling the air. I enjoyed the moment and savored every second. I do love a good rain. Puts me in a calming mood. And then, across the diner, I saw somebody throw a quarter in the jukebox. Arctic Monkeys started playing. That's my favorite song. How did they know that? The person sat back down. I didn't get a good look at their face. They were covered by a hood. What? Before I could look into the person's face further, the waitress came back. She put down my flapjacks on the table and said, "Do you want syrup?" A strange question, as I noticed there was a syrup bottle on the table already. I said, "No, thank you. I'll use what I have." She spat in my food and walked away. I said thank you, as you say in America, and began to dine on my flapjacks. They tasted terrible. She definitely smoked that day. She was clearly on edge. And through the saliva and every bite that I took, I realized something very important. Was this an indirect kiss? Are we dating now? Confused at the proposition, I left my seat. I said, "This will not do. I'm a pure idle boy. I cannot be doing this with you, ma'am. I'm sorry." I left a good tip on the table and left. She looked confused, heartbroken even. I could tell she was crying as I left, as I saw that there was screaming going on behind me. I left the building, and I went down my favorite alley that I continuously get stabbed. Fuck! No, not yet. Didn't happen yet. It didn't happen yet. It did not happen yet. Oh, God. I jumped the gun there. I walked 12 hours all the way back to my ship. Wait, I wasn't stabbed. Wait. I wasn't stabbed at all. It wasn't I that was stabbed. It was them. I looked closer as I saw a figure laying on the ground. I got close. Who are you? I thought to myself. And as I turned their body to face me, I realized it was me. Although it was more about right here. In the stomach. I stabbed myself in that alley that day. It's a damn shame, you know. You can't even trust the people that you grew up with. Not your parents, not your siblings, and least of all, yourself. This spoon was a lot bigger, by the way. It was like this big. No, this one was really big. Yeah, this one was much bigger. Either way, I saw myself scramble up from the floor and run away, scared at what they had done. I forgave him, because that's what Galleon does. He's forgiving. Although that left me in a very sticky situation. Sticky. Reminds me of the pancakes that I had inside that Denny's. Tasted terrible. So, Chat, are you following along yet? Have you guys pieced together the story? Do you know who framed Roger Rabbit? I see there's a lot of confusion. If you'd like me to clarify anything, please raise your hand with a question, and I'll try to settle your mind. Can I do acrobatics with these? No, but I can play spoons. The whole thing, please? Gale Galleon was stabbed in an alley. When are we going back to present time? You know, they call it the present because the time I spend with you is a gift. A gift that I received that night reminds me of that spoon that was stabbed in my stomach. I'm used to the pain now, it doesn't hurt anymore. Are you both the parrot and the pirate? What parrot? There is no parrot here, unless you're referring to a pipsqueak, in which case, no, we are two separate entities. There are no two similar faces in this story. Where is the ambulance we called? You must have got the wrong address. I'm still dying out here. Did you make pipsqueaks your life insurance beneficiaries? Life. Now that's a tricky subject. Something so precious that we're all given. You'd think we'd take it for granted, and yet it's our most precious object. I didn't realize it that night. That fated night. Is Mama Galleon Gucci? She's better than Gucci. She's a name brand even higher than Gucci. How am I bleeding out if the spoon is like a knife? Where it should plug up the wound and keep the blood from spilling out? No, don't worry. We're stuck in a moment right now. I can't bleed. There will be blood. I can already feel it boiling at my stomach. But the blood has not resumed yet. Thankfully, using my time temporal stasis power! I can't die. Did I get stabbed with the ethanol spoon? No. I wish I did. Would have been great at cleaning up this wound, however. I can definitely tell this person had Cheerios for breakfast. With one really big spoon. Is there any KFC left over? You're hungry? Yes, there should be some left in the fridge. There's a breast and a drumstick I left for the pipsqueaks in the fridge. Make sure you grab it. There's also a little bit of mashed potatoes and gravy as well if you still want them, but they're not ever so good reheated, so I understand if you just toss it out. It's not that great. Much better fresh. I can't die? Well, I will die, assuming I let go of my temporal spell. You want the mashed potatoes? You can have the mashed potatoes. But only if you reheat them perfectly. If I hear that you reheated those mashed potatoes, and they're cold in the center, that's 13 lashes. How does it feel to be the spoon that was used in a milk first, cereal second bowl? Well, unfortunately, I am not a spoon. I am being spooned right now. From the front. Which is something I didn't think was possible. Until tonight. It was cold and warm, and the rain was falling down, and it was completely dry exactly where I stood. It was about 2:30 p.m. Dark and mysterious. The fog was just settling in. I was stabbed again. This time from the back. There's another spoon behind me that you can't see now. Is the small fork still somewhere inside of me? No, that fork was actually taken away by that perpetrator down that alleyway. Can we eat cereal with me on the spoon? No. Full stop. Have you ever had a dream that you had your, you could, you'll do, you want, you could do so, you'll do, you could, you want them to do so, that you could do anything? Yes. Double spooned up on a Tuesday night. I think you're making light of the situation. Did I not elaborate how dire this situation is, Pipsqueak? You're losing brain cells? Well, thankfully, we've got the right tool to pick them back up. A giant spoon. Oh God! That was in my ass! Oh! How do I feel about wooden spoons? They remind me of splinters, and I hate getting stabbed. Stabbed! Ah! I was lying. I'm not used to it. Does that mean we could have a scoop of Gale Galleon? If you remove the spoon, there will no longer be a Gale Galleon. There will be only Gore Galleon. Guys, I really need that ambulance. I'm sorry that I was joking around with these made-up stories, but I was just trying to stall time because if I stop monologuing to you guys, the temporal spell wears off. Like I said, this is like a filibuster. Google filibuster. A filibuster. Let me define it for you. That'll be the great filibuster. The filibuster. A filibuster is the Senate tradition of unlimited debate has allowed for the use of the filibuster, a loosely defined term for action designed to prolong debate and delay or prevent a vote on a bill, resolution, amendment, or other debatable question. In this case, the bill is the flat side of a spoon. Ah! You can't do much while we're frozen? Think! Who's the fastest out of all of you? Who can fly here the soonest? You exploded the mashed potatoes? Eat them off the floor. Is this why Gale has mentioned insurrection 2,300 times lately? What's insurrection? No one knows what insurrection is. That's not real. Insurrection. I'm not gonna define it because it sounds scary. Are we frozen in time? The whole world is frozen, save for this little scrolling bar above me. The bar. What if I wrote a note on the bar? Do you think it'll reach? Let's try. Please send a jelp. I don't think the typographer for my life was doing a very good job right now in trying to save me. Typographer, could you try better? This doesn't seem to be a very good sentence. No, it's okay, I forgive you. Okay, I need you to say, Gale Galleon was stabbed in an alleyway. Please send emergency services. No, stop. You gotta slow down. Listen, time's frozen. can take your time, okay? Easy there. Easy there. Okay. Now let's start from the beginning. Let's start G A L E. Good. All right. We're gonna hit the space bar now. You know which one the space bar is, right? Okay, well, just take that as a yes. Okay, space bar. Y. No, G. No, not you. G. Yeah, there. Don't do anything. Stop. A. L. Yes. Why are you questioning? Yes, 2 L's. There's 2 L's in my name. Why are you questioning? Yes, I know how to spell my name. Okay. E. O. N. Fuck it, whatever. Anyway, hit the spacebar again, and then tell them to come to the alleyway. What the fuck is that? Are you a baby? Are you a baby with tiny fingers that can't reach the keyboard? What is going on with you? Undo it. Undo it. Why? Did they give up? Did they get up from the desk and leave? Jesus. Anyway, it was a frantic and pathetic night. Gale Galleon was sitting here in the alley with a giant spoon stabbed into his stomach. That one actually wasn't that bad. I think I'm numb to it now. I sat here against the wall. I looked down the alleyway and I saw the silhouette of a figure that I can only presume stabbed me with a giant spoon. Such a strange usage of a giant tool, but, you know, to each their own. I'm not foreign to using adaptive weapons, so, honestly, in my admiration, I applauded them. They were walking away, but I knew. They didn't do this because they hated me. They did this because they ain'ted me. And that's the truth. That's what happened tonight at 9 p.m. Tuesday. We finally found the truth. But there's one question that remains on my mind. Who could be behind that mysterious silhouette? Is that? No. It couldn't be, right? I can see them! The light faintly illuminating the back. That's Nosferatu! Well, that was a hell of a twist. Well, now what? Should we resume time? And I bleed out and die? And pray that the emergency services come to Seth. I'm getting lightheaded. Oh no. I think my spell's wearing off. Typographer, are you still there? If so, can you type my name properly this time? Just one final service? How'd you type that so well? You didn't even typo whatsoever. What the fuck? That's kind of messed up of you. I feel like you're just messing with me. Truly an auntie. Well, I suppose it's time for me to die. But how should I do it? Oh, God. Oh. Oh, God, I thought I was dead for a second. Oh, God. I'm still speaking internally. Am I safe? Am I fine? The pain is still here, but I feel fine. I can still move. Hmm? Hello? EMS? Hello? Just my luck. Stabbed by a spoon in the middle of an alleyway. And the only souvenir I got was this damn spoon. Thanks. Did anyone call? I've been keeping an ear out, but I haven't heard anything. Also, my name is not Goop Goopion typographer. Please, remedy this. Yes, it is Gale, Galleon. Gale, what does that say? Gale, STFU. I'm Trey. Traying? Traying. Gale, STFU, I'm trying. Roll. Slap. The scrawlings of a drunkard, clearly. They had one too many pints at the bar. You know, they couldn't handle what I put down. Last night at the bar, I put down 10 shots. As I was walking my way down the alleyway, it started raining. It was roughly 12 p.m. And, walking away with my award-winning spoon, I tripped and fell. Wait. I think I did this to myself. There was no culprit. I just slipped on a rainy night on a mossy cobblestone floor. Or was it me? The night was young. As I sat there pondering whether or not I was guilty of the thing that I just did, I went deep into my psyche and froze time to think about it. Could I really be the perpetrator? After all, I love myself so much. Now, why would I do that? It was hard to come to terms with, so I decided the best thing that we could do, all of us Gales, was to sit down and have a council inside of my head. Gale number 1, raise your hand if you're present.
Aye.
Gale number 2?
Aye.
Gale number 3, if you're here, show yourself.
Aye.
Great. And the Council of Gales are all here. I bring you the court case, Gale stabbed by spoon. I'd like to bring to the... What is it called? The podium? Gales, what do we call that thing next to the judge where they go to testify? To the stand. I call Gale to the stand. Gale number 2. What did you see on the night of Tuesday?
Well, I don't really remember much. I was kind of shit-faced, a little bit sloshed, so, the most I remember was a very metallic sound hitting my ribcage.
All right. Take your seat. Thank you very much for your testimony. Gale number 2. Please come to the stand.
Aye, Captain.
Gale number 2. What do you remember shortly coming out of the bar after getting shit-faced?
Well, you know, I go by my instincts a lot of the time, so I took my usual route back to the boat. And when I was going down there, it was raining. I liked the rain, so I sat there and looked at it for a while.
Do you have anything further to add to the case, Gale number 2?
No.
Fine. Take your seat, Gale number 2. Gale number 3. What do you remember? The night of Tuesday, 9 p.m. Excuse me, Gale number 3. If you're still with us, come to the stand. Gale number 3. Oh! I see. It's unfortunate. We're gonna have to adjourn this meeting for now. We'll come to a decision at a later date. Everyone, go grab some sandwiches. It's apparently lunch break time. You know, bleeding out in an alleyway takes a lot of energy, so I'll just wait here. Stabbed. Lunch break? But it's 10 p.m. Wait a second. If it's 10 p.m., wouldn't that be dinner time? It was at that moment the typographer seemingly left the desk and erased all of his work. I didn't know where to go from there because he was the only clue that I had left, the only one willing to communicate with me. Interesting. Strange how that works. Well, either way, the truth of the matter is, if I don't get help in 5 seconds, I will die. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can I just die already? Oh my god, how many stab wounds is that tonight? Fucking hell, man. Is anyone taking count? How many stabs have I taken tonight? I am pretty resilient. Wait, where'd the music go? Hello? Even the music left. First the typographer. Now the music. What's next? The spoon? Huh. Well, I guess that solves that mystery. got stabbed again. Oh, I can't stop timing it. I can't. I don't have mana. Oh, God, it hurts, Rick. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna die. I'm actually gonna die.